Good evening. How you doing? Can you hear me there? Can you? Sweet. Great to be here on YouTube after all this time. It's like, 2 weeks since I've been here. Great to see you. How you all doing? I went to Mexico, got fucking sunburned. Looked like a flapjack for a bit when I came back. Don't know why I'm talking like an American, but I remember coming back on the plane. I watched Mortal Kombat, and there was a guy in it called Kano. He was alright, bit of a wanker. Kept using the word freaking the whole time. Who does that? Dunno. Dunno. So who we got in the house? Saints and scholars. Word. Word to you too, hey. Word to you too. How you was the crack? Cardinal O'Flanagan. How you getting on, lad? Johnny Sideways. Should be the return of El Chapo. Dr. David. Good to see you, Dr. David. How's things? Any word from Pat Kenny? Pat Kenny there. Is he jostling people for land, is he? You're stoned here, no autographs. That lad was fucking doing 9 bars. Fucking the return of the 9th bar. It's the kind of bar you'd be disbarred from around the towns and that. How you all doing? We'll wait till it fills up. So, where do you want me to start? On the holiday itself? I have the munchies. Good lad yourself. Wookie boss. Cancerous attitude. ¿Qué? ¿Cómo estás? Muy bien. Buenas noches. Good. Buenos tiempos. Buenos tiempos. I've actually been learning a bit of Spanish on Duolingo, which is quite good. ¿Dónde está el baño? So it's been good to learn a bit of Spanish. But I'm not going to stick around too long for tonight because fucking I got stuff in the morning, man. Occam's Brute, hey. Well, Marcin, haven't seen you since Netflix. Yeeted you. Hope you made some coin off the cunts. Oh, the amount of coin they're fucking wasting on shite. Where's the toilet? Fucking Johnny Sideways knows the crack, man. Donde está el sanitario? Luke, hola Martino, how you doing, Guapo? Any crack? We're filling up, man. We're filling up. A couple more juicy characters into the mix. Oh ho ho. Oh ho ho. Neo, hey everyone. No snowstorm to disturb me this time, hey. Yeah, there's not much snowstorm here in Northern Europe, which there's a bit of snow out there, but not a lot. So yeah, I've been fucking itching like a beast since second day in. Got fucking baked on the beach, and I'm not talking about 9 bar baked. So the see-through beard you're growing. Yeah, I'm getting a bit beardy looking. Katie French was like a candle in the wind, unreliable. Dr. David, God rest her. Aaron Tricky, sorry to say, Martin, but after the Netflix removal, I've been watching the whole show on YouTube. Aaron Tricky, I would expect nothing less, mate. I would expect nothing less. I might even just fucking unlawfully upload the whole lot of them to my own channel. Hamburguesa con queso y patatas fritas, por favor. Yes, there was many a cheeseburger with fries. Indeed, Johnny's been on the Duolingo app, have you, Johnny? Fucking Johnny boy. Do you keep in touch with the lad that owns the golf club in Hardy Books? He's class. You, him, and stateside should do a sitcom. God, imagine that for show. Absolute nutters. Reinhard Guth or Yuth says, would you rather French kiss Ryan Tuberty for 20 minutes or give Pat Kenny's flute one lick? That's a very fucking tough one, man. Both of them are awful scenarios. It's like, who'd rather shoot, your mum or your dad? RT player is shite. Half the, what to say here? Well, we all know that, like, where's a shite half the time it doesn't load. Yeah, they just, I think they all the best tech bots have left the country. Pat Kenny's wooden flute. Here is my flute. It's made from mahogany and it has been turned on a bowl and chamfered at the bell. You can see your reflection in it. Sometimes I like to do this when I'm applying my makeup before getting on to the screen. Give Pat Kenny's flute one lick, defo. Yeah, I think it's probably, it's probably the way to go, really, isn't it? Fuck RTE, I downloaded that shit. Good on you, Neo, man. I'm all about open source, man. Open source that shit. Linux job. So a couple of things I've got down on the old booking here. First of all, Joe Rogan and Spotify. A good friend of mine fucking works. Oh, one second here. Do you reckon Eddie Hobbs insists on going on top during intercourse so he can pretend he's deeply penetrating a core customer base? I don't know, man, but it fucking has merit to it. It has merit to it. Give an old couple of thumbs up there, lads, just to get the fucking show on the road, hey, 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 hey. So it's my birthday on Saturday. Don't know what I'm gonna do for it. Nearly 40, but not yet. Getting fucking old, man. Johnny on tongue, says TC. So first of all, what do you reckon about the crack with Joe Rogan? Let's open it up. Graham Russell, how are you doing, mate? You were reared on the Fox's milk. I can tell by the Gimpia. I met some really sound scousers over there in Mexico. Fucking sound crack. Big shout out to Shirley, Wayne, Ron, and Karen. They fair play to them. They fucking brought me a load of stuff to rub on me body after I was fucking scalded like an old crab. Let's see. So, what do you think? Let's open up the floor to a bit of Joe Rogan chat first. We'll get moving on that. Anyone have anything to say about him? I know he's strong. He's fucking curious. He's got cool tattoos. He likes to fucking blaze. He hangs out with fucking Alex Jones and the boys. I know he knows a lot about stuff, man. He gets the best guests. He's got millions of viewers. But CNN don't like it, man. Aaron Byrne, have a shout for the birthday, good lad. Aaron Enog. Thank you very much. Toshi Owen. Okay, what to say here? Better than on horse milk, I'd wager. Neil Young just likes making statements. He'll sell a rake of vinyl. Oh, I think he has done. See, Neil Young has now gone to Apple and Amazon. This is the thing about Neil Young, man. A lot of these lads who seem to be stalwarts of anti-establishment, like 60s, 70s, 80s rock, have now, a lot of them have just come out as being establishment party boys. Like Neil Young. I hope Neil Young will remember, so the man don't need him around anyhow. I heard Neil Young was talking shit about Alabama in the old days. Like Lee Murphy, good to see you, lad. Good to see you. Neil Young sounds like ACDC on Downers. I've lost a lot of respect for Neil Young, man, because he had an album out that was all dedicated to Monsanto. I'm dedicating this one to Monsanto, but it just feels a bit fucking. It's a bit of a letdown when rock and roll heroes of yours have just shilled out to brought to you by Pfizer. I do think that with Joe Rogan, fair play to him, he's like the fact that it's a bit like the Streisand effect, like the fact that the White House are now threatening Spotify to remove Joe Rogan from the platform. Just goes to show who's in charge. It's certainly not the First Amendment of being able to freely express yourself in the States. It's soft shite, man. So obviously, Albert Bourla, the CEO of Pfizer, and their shareholders are more important than free speech and open, rational discussion. I think they've now had a disclaimer on Spotify, and they've lost a couple of fucking million stock. Like I thought the stock would go up, but people are fickle cunts. Neo, most famous people have no clue what it means to be an average person and what they go through in life. Do you know what? Like I've had a kind of a slither's worth, like a little bit of I've managed to have a taste of the privilege of being a performer, celebrity, for want of a better word. And I often find like all these VIP places that you would always be like, wow, it must be class in there. It's full of people talking bollocks about their own shit. Obviously, it's not the most eloquent way of saying it, but I always would rather just be hanging around in with normal people, like the regular people. That's where like most crack is. As soon as people start getting above their station, they'll start losing the run of themselves. Start talking about how great their back catalogue is. So most of the time, these VIP sections you think are going to be great, they're boring. So great chunk though, great chunk. Their stock was tanking before the Rogan witch hunt. Well, it's good for business. No news is good, or like Any news is good news. The world is getting too soft, lads. Younger generations feel as they deserve everything for nothing, says Johnny Sideways. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what. There's an awful lot of mollycoddling going on, and participation trophies and this kind of thing. And everybody, I mean, most people have athletic skills, academic skills. Some people have a blend of them all. Some people just have the best hand going. That's just the genetic lottery, nurture versus nature, and that kind of thing. Um, One thing I saw a funny picture earlier on of Anthony Hopkins. Let's see if I can get this up because Anthony Hopkins, even he has said that actors are fucking stupid, and I would like to say that I think yeah, actors are basically in an industry where you're dealing with rejection, constant rejection, and then once you get past a certain level of acceptancy, and then your market value goes up, and then you start dealing with being in the public eye and having to watch what you say because you've got journalists and other fucking parasitic wankers who are out to try and get you. I think a lot of these people, like let's say Will Smith or Alec Baldwin, big Hollywood A-listers, it must get to their head after a while. Like, I mean, just constantly being surrounded by publicists and media people. So it says here, Anthony Hopkins says actors are pretty stupid, including himself. The veteran actor also revealed that he doesn't really enjoy going to the movies anymore and avoids green screen movies. And there he is looking a bit like Pope Benedict. I thought, is that Pope Benedict, man? Benedict's fucking making a comeback, yeah? He's really safe. It's all a big pyramid scheme, says Lehman Murphy. Craig Fisher, good morning from Singapore. Any acting gigs for yourself on the horizon? Well, hopefully now things are opening up. There's a thing called Spotlight, right? Which, as an actor, you need to have a Spotlight account, and it's just like the annual shakedown of, oh, your Spotlight account is finished. We'll need another 194 euros, please. And it's like, Cardinal Flanagan, I think people like Spotify are just trying to look like they care for PR when in reality they are just taking the old piss and are morally bankrupt. Do you know what? From an inside source, I think your man who created Spotify is sounds like a pretty good lad. You know, in comparison to the rest of the shitehawks like from Apple or Amazon or many other of these platforms, I think the guy who started it is just like a working class South Stockholm guy who managed to, do something that, well, in fairness, like I've had these conversations because I used to think that they were unscrupulous, but then I think a lot of these streaming services, a lot of the big bucks go to the big labels. So I'd like to get my mate on if he wants to have a chat. Well, you know who you are, hey, but I'm not going to mention your fucking name, hey. And I'll see if he comes on. Paul Casey, am I on speed or did I see you in the Vikings Valhalla trailer? Thumbnail on YouTube. Must be smoking the Hindu Kush too much. No, I'm not in that, but I was in Vikings series 5 and 6. Dr. David, I tried to set up my own competitor app to Grinder called Rim People. Only one lad signed up for it in 6 months, so I was contractually obliged to bum him. I then closed the company down. Your company was in the brown, man. What's your thoughts on NFTs? I mean, I don't know really. I think they're daft as fuck. I think it's an indication of how people will try and make coin from passing fads. It's like the old Bitcoin shite, man. I put a fucking grand in. Never once went over the fucking grand I put in, and now it's less than half. So should have just taken the money out and just took a mild hit. Complete waste of fucking time. Complete waste of time. Am I doing any more hardy fucks? I don't know when I do Advanced. I'm not sure. Who knows? I'm not sure. I don't really hear from any of the lads apart from Tom, who plays the poo. He's the only one who calls me anymore, and everyone's busy doing their own thing. But I'm hoping now the crack in Ireland and England has opened up, so I'm going to start doing some gigs soon. Get out on the road, meet you all in IRL, man. Fucking a real life job. Is that Seafood Dunleavy over there? Hey, Colin Buhig. I only smoke indica strains. Sativa makes me feel nervous and weird, says in the autograph. So yeah, you're dead right. Fucking too much. It's too much, man. Make a man think too much, second guess himself. Rick, they'll probably tax crypto and NFTs so much in the future it won't be worth it anymore. Yeah, and then they'll bring in their own centralized digital governmental currency that can be regulated, and they'll be like, "We don't agree with what you're spending this money on, so we're going to stop the transaction." That was the deal from day one. By so some of the notes for tonight. Okay, let's have a look at this. You won't be hearing this on Pat Kenny. No, you won't, because Pat Kenny's getting the big money for misleading people. So, Rogan on Spotify, yeah, basically, he went against the narrative. You had CNN with that little fat potato man, Brian Stelter. I mean, what a weak looking dude, man. He'd want to have his fucking hard drive checked rapid. I mean, waste no time. Check his hard drive. So, yeah, as I said earlier on, he's one man beating all of mainstream media. One man. And he fucking lifts a kettlebell with a gorilla on it. And everyone's like, fucking that man, eh? Oh, he's got a gorilla kettlebell and he's just got supplements. Sometimes he borrows Alex Jones's fucking super male vitality, hey? I remember doing a gig once it was a fucking disaster of a gig in Bray with Owen Colgan. And our booking agent said we had to do a completely new show. We didn't. I don't know why why we listened to him. So then we tried to make up stuff on the last day and just fucking died on our asses for 20 minutes. And won't be invited back to that festival anytime soon. But there was one time where I just go, does anyone know Alex Jones? In the room, no one knew it. And I was like, oh, fuck. Who's Dwayne Durkin? I don't know. I haven't heard of him for a good while. But let me see now. Yeah, I think the White House. I think this fucking White House administration is probably one of the worst of all time. You know, they're projection artists. I actually think that the whole Corona narrative for the last 2 years is falling apart. People are waking up to it finally, and when people wake up finally, they're going to be like, "Yeah, we've all been conned." And I think this whole shit with Russia at the moment, what's the deal there? Like, is it a distraction from something else? I mean, I can't understand why. First of all, I don't understand why Putin would bother going into Ukraine. Like, he went into Crimea because that was their only military base, their naval base in Crimea. That was it. And yeah, it was a bit slippery and dodgy, but other than that, they were completely cut off in the Black Sea. So, from a strategic point of view, I get it. But there's no point in fucking Putin waging war on his border. I mean, like, who the fuck wants a big global scale war like this? I don't know. I don't know. But are we Neil Robertson? Hey, Alex Jones has a bad rep down in Brayway. Fucking does. Irish Newfoundland bear. Hey, met a lot of sound Canadians up in or down in Mexico. Good lads, man. Fucking good lads. Good ladies too. The bull doesn't want to be part of the show, man. Doesn't like the fame no more. Why is Whoopi Goldberg not fired? Is this an example of black privilege? Whoopi Goldberg, man, more like, you know, her name, she was going to call herself Whoopi Cushion. And her mother said it sounded too daft. And she said to make it in show business, it would be good to have a Jewish second name. So she changed her name to Whoopi Goldberg. You'd think a woman who would have understood that and the way she very bluntly and clumsily handled the statements about the Holocaust. I didn't provide an apology. I mean, Whoopi knows the crack. Never fucking apologize. But those fucking harpies on The View, like, they're the queens of cancel culture. They're the wankers who want to get everyone else fired. Like, Whoopi Goldberg is supposed to be a comedian, and the same woman had like, again, another clumsy, bad timing thing that she did was the time with Ted Danson, when she was going out with Ted Danson, and they brought him up as a black and white minstrel, and everyone was like, "No, man, no, Whoopi, fucking Whoopi, man, lay off the fucking modified maize starch, man. Your mind has gone wrong, man. If Russia wins and invades Ireland, I hope they decrease the price of pints. Well, not only that, they'd be bringing in vodka and fucking good stuff and caviar. Yeah, look at, like, Russia. Yeah, they're fucking slippery folks. You know, like, there's a long history of mad shit, but they haven't really. You know, there's been a couple of weird incursions to places like Georgia with that Rose Revolution, which, I mean, a lot of these revolutions and military skirmishes that happen in satellite states, there's a good fucking chance that there's Western intelligence driving that, like there was the Maiden riot with the CIA boys. Like, if you look at fucking like the CIA and the FBI. CIA is basically international, um, fucking surveillance and shite hawkery, and FBI is like the domestic shite hawkery as well. So I mean, they're setting up all these fucking, as the saying goes, gay ops, where they're just going in saying, "Hey kid, you want to blow some shit up?" And they'll go to lads who have like they're mentally challenged. Like the time when they tried to set up this kidnapping plot for, was it Gretchen Whitman or something, or the governor of Illinois, and it turns out like half the lads who were arrested were all feds. It's fucking the dodgy boys, man. And I think once people start realizing this, they're just gonna be like, they need to clean house, get rid of all these pricks, fuck them all off, get rid. Lexus was right with all the CIA's fault. The fucking lasers, man, fucking lasers. Putin is a nutball. Fact. We have Mickey D. Saw a picture of Mickey D queuing up once for the ATM machine. He wanted to be buying a load of fucking Fabergé eggs, man, from Brown Thomas. Ooh, luxuriant cunts. Army with spud guns. Yo, Chris, my man. Oh ho ho, good lad. How you, Christine? Christine wants to bring me over to the fucking States, man. He wants to bring me over to the States with Cowboy Kelly. Wookie Boss, Putin's a good lad. He's the only one who says it how it is. Like, to be fair, imagine what kind of a header you would have to be to get to the top of the highest position in power in a mad fucking massive place like Russia. I mean, he must be, first of all, an absolute maniac. I remember hearing a story after the fall of the Berlin Wall where apparently there was all these, what was the name of the Russian police? It wasn't the NKVD, what was it, like the KGB? And all the East German lads were rioting after the fall of the Berlin Wall, and Putin was like stationed as the head of this particular station, and there was a big angry mob outside, and he just walks down with it was KGB, wasn't it, Chris? Yeah. So he comes down the steps with a pistol with like 13 bullets in it, and he goes, "These 13 bullets, 12 are for you, and the final one is for me. You want to do this?" And then people were like, "Nah, you're all right," and everyone just walked away peacefully. So he seems Greta Thunberg job. Good, MG's Motors. Good evening, Martin. Nice to see you back on the live streams. You should get back to doing these regularly as they're a class. Thank you very much, MG's Motors. I really would like to have better production value sometimes, but like this evening, I was like, oh, should I just go to bed? But I was like, no, I want to chat to the crew, man. I want to chat to the crew. Gypsies, Morton. Tis Gypsy, said Lick out Beast. Would you drop the hand on Whoopi? I tell you what, you'd want fucking big hands for that, hey. Putin was, Dr. Dave said, Putin was an unlockable character in Streets of Rage 2. His special attack was a punishment bumming to someone on his own team. Completely counterproductive to the fight. Could have called me back instead of going to bed. Oh, hey, Chris Pez, I've been busy doing fucking dishes, man. How are you, Rick? Have you heard of the Ray Epps guy? He was supposed to be an FBI agent who was dressed as a civilian who was telling people to raid the Capitol during the riot. It wouldn't be fucking one bit surprised. I mean, like that. Like I'm gonna say it how I see it, right? And this is one of the nice things about me is I will fucking say what I see because I don't give a shit. I'd rather be someone who's, I'd rather have unpopular. First of all, would you ask yourself, would you rather comforting lies or uncomfortable truths? I would rather go with the uncomfortable truth anytime because at least you know what you're dealing with, right? So yeah, the way they talk about the insurrection being as bad as 9/11, which, and if you want to know about 9/11, it's fucking, you'd be a bit daft to fucking believe the official story now, let's be fair, but I'm not going into that one. But they're dodgy, man. Yeah, they're dodgy, and like It's I see Ryanair apparently are saying that then you know the new normal, as in like it'd be like fucking 9/11, post 9/11, we have to put your liquids into bags, and then people are gonna have to live with it. Like I flew back like 15 fucking hours. I was wearing a bloody mask and just doing it to get along. I didn't agree with it. Fucking bruises on me on the tops of my ears. I was like, this is fucking like it's like having a pissing section in the swimming pool. The fact that you can go into a restaurant and then sit down. I don't know. Look, there's people who will debate me over it. I'm fucking sick of talking about it at this stage. Um, you should call yourself the Owl Man. You see everything. But yeah, what else? What else are we talking about now? Yeah, first of all, I think yeah, this Biden administration just full of fucking cowboys and wankers, and if you know, cowboys and wankers. It's the new game to play in the schoolyard. But they're taking over where the Obama administration had left off. You know, with destroying Libya, Syria, and kicking off with Ukraine. And you know, it's probably all about this Nord Stream. It's all about oil and gas and whatnot, but also a geopolitical. It's just like it's all about testing out weapons. You know what I mean? It's like Afghanistan, for example, had nothing to do with 9/11, but yet they went in there for 20 years and tested out all the latest gear. It was like Vietnam, the Gulf of Tonkin, false flag. Jim Morrison's dad was the admiral on the boat. Um, yeah, the Gulf of Tonkin, and then the media did what they always do. They work for special interests and big money and military industrialized complex, and now it's big pharma and whatnot. And they go in there, they'll probably give a shitload of weapons to Ukraine and go, here lads, give us the fucking stats on them, will you? But I personally don't want any more fucking war. I think the worst people imaginable are in control, and they just think of people like ourselves as being fucking insects. So fuck them all. Oh, Lennon, how we getting on? Mark Smith. Well, boss, I'm sure you get asked this all the time, but any progress with RTE and Hardy Bucks making a comeback? Absolutely nothing, mate. Absolutely. I mean, I don't know if the rest of the lads even are interested anymore. Do you know what I mean? Even I'm kind of like a bit fucking jaded with the crack. It's like fucking herding cats. Ben Daly, Americans would invade a steak if it was cooked enough olive oil. It's a nice one, that is. Cardinal O'Flanagan, back when Trump was in, they did an economic response meeting after the lockdown. Fauci's comment, but I'm still in charge, right? Get that fucking Egypt out. I mean, I've had so many fucking heated discussions with people saying the guy went with Peter Daszak of Eco Health Alliance to DARPA to get funding of 14 million. You can look it up on the web pages. $14 million, and even DARPA were like, nah, not having that, mate. It's too fucking risky. So they went off to China and did it anyway. How are you shady fucking Ganlage Aquarius, hey? Where did you go, hey? Where did you go? You up for fighting the Russians, lad? Let me see. Americans would invade a state. Back when have you watched Channel 5 News on YouTube or Oil Gas No Breaks? They interviewed the guy who wore the buffalo hat on the raid. Yeah, I did. That was a great, like, he seemed like a sound dude, man. Do you know what I mean? Like, and the way he was kind of put up, like, there's a lot of things that was relatable to what he said. But I think what you've got now is people who I think now finally what you have people who were very segregated on this bullshit dichotomy of being left or right or center are now all brought to you by Pfizer, says Neo. But I think everybody who was like they were fractured through fucking bullshit clickbait news corporations like BuzzFeed or just loads of these annoying fucking venture capitalist funded clickbait outrage sites that didn't even have journalists. They were just fucking gobshites from school who just had their head filled with nonsense from colleges. Um, they did a great job on dividing the population, but I think now people are starting to kind of come together from both sides and be like, we've all been conned and it's a load of bollocks. And I do think I do feel like with the whole Joe Rogan thing, it's bringing people together, and people are finally starting to be able to discuss things, and that's the main thing is if you can have reasonable discussion and agree to disagree, and more of that and less of this fucking shouting at people on. It's like what Mike Tyson said. He goes, "The internet's making people feel real comfortable with talking shit about each other. They're comfortable until they get a punch in the face." Paraphrasing, of course. NG Motors, do you think there's a genuine possibility of Putin invading Ukraine and starting the war with NATO, or is it just Putin doing scare tactics to assert Russia's dominance? I haven't really looked into the ins and outs of it, but you know the old classic false flag where you could get someone dressed up as Russian fighters to then go and do something on there, or you could, have someone go into Russia dressed as a Ukrainian military unit and do something. So like, there's been a lot of wars started over false flag attacks, and like you'd probably get wankers going false flag. What's he on about? And my reaction to them would be like, "Go fuck yourself. Not even going to debate you." Elon Musk said it best. It would seem the fringe minority is the government. Yeah, like look at Trudeau in Canada, man. He's a fucking ponce. He's a wanker, and he's got plums in his mouth, and he's just a soft dude who get rid of him. Get rid of all these fucking governments need to go, man. And they need to get people who are reluctant to be in power, people who are competent, people who have specialize in their own field. You should you're a minister for education and children should be someone who's got about 8 kids who works in like either children's healthcare or education. These are the kind of people like that your transport secretary should be Nigel Mansell. How are you very fucking? How are we getting on now? But ripping hay, Pisheen, good to see you, lad. And do go over to Nothing But Ripping there. I'd be on his channel a good bit, like, and he's fucking sound. He's doing some nice stuff. What was I say here? Have you seen the video called "The Vaccine" to the tune of Tequila? Lord Jesus nearly got sick. Yeah, that was on Colbert show. These people are out of touch, man. I mean, like as fucking Robert Malone said on the Joe Rogan podcast, which really got people riled up. It's mass formation psychosis. That's exactly what it is. Snow-pilled friend, Maloney boy. You should get McHenry Cruiser on your channel. For who's McHenry Cruiser? Sounds like a good fucking big Irish lad. Hey, McHenry Cruiser's after you. Wants to know more about you. Henry Cruiser, bad boy. I'll have a look at this lad. Send him on to me. Hey, what's the deal with him? Looks a bit like Owen Colgan. Yeah, fucking hey, send him my way. I'm gonna get a Diener from Fubar on here at some time as well. I'll have to do that. Captain Flanagan says the US allowed Russia access to NATO bases a day or two ago. Like, what are they gonna do there? Like, can we come in and fucking have a bit of tea? Like, Trudeau takes it up the rear, says 91 Vance. Trudeau is a mondo pedo. Trudeau, for me, he's like, Lord Longshanks from Braveheart. He's like, Lord Longshanks' son. The dad was a hard ass. And just like, you will be the face of the government, but we will run it with people who are competent. Apparently, they're going to get the military to go in and sort out the truckers, man. Sort out the truckers of peace. Trudeau's playing the heel role to perfection here. Is he now? He's really the veneer of Mr. Nice Guy and Mr. Fucking Right On. It'll start unraveling pretty soon. One of the funniest videos I've seen in a long time is the one of McGowan in Australia. He goes, "This is an important message from Western Australia to the Aboriginal people," and he goes, and then the interpreter goes, "Keep him up a big one, Mel a safe one. You can die from the corona or get really sick. Oh, you're gonna pass away? Get Mel a sick one? Big more people around the world." I hear something in the background there, hey? Bit of music or something. You in stateside not talking, asked Sean Gilmartin. He's on a indefinite suspension because he just kept sending me loads of screen grabs of him having phone sex with random Philippine women, and I was like, "That's a bit too much fucking information, man. I don't know what you're doing in your own time, but it's not right." That guy with the buffalo hat was made into a ringleader by the media. The look made for a great lead photos. The legal system made an example of him based on the characterization. Yeah, what they've done, like you've got people in fucking awful conditions in solitary confinement. It's like the whole thing was a fucking, the whole thing was co-opted, man. I mean, because what it did is it helped to create an even bigger divide. It's all orchestrated. They just want people fighting, but I think people are starting to kind of come together. Finally, people are coming together, and that all these governments are basically the people that we need to get out of power. No questions asked. They're not leading the people. They don't give a shit about the people. And if you look at the 20th century and before, you see people who rise to power that do very bad things, and we don't want them cunts in power. Supposedly, the access to the bases is to ease tensions over Ukraine. Odd when they're on the news talking about things like, does Russia want to start counting body bags? I don't get it. I think it's a big distraction, to be honest with you. Like, even, was it Levchenko, the foreign minister? Blinken just went in with a whole load of documents accusing them of all sorts, and they were like, "This is fucking nonsense. Like, what are you guys talking about?" Trudeau is openly talking about thought crime with his unacceptable views. Bullshit. Unacceptable to who? Yeah, he's not going to be in for much longer. I think Canada is waking up to this shit, and he'll just be. I like the way Boris Johnson went full nuclear after the pressure was on him. One of the spin doctors was like, "Boris, it's not looking good. Go nuclear. Remove all the restrictions." He's like, "I don't want to do this. What? Okay, remove all. Yeah, you look like a hero. Okay, I'll be Boris the hero." So it seems that everyone's like, "Ah, fair enough." But don't forget, they're all World Economic Forum stooges. Trudeau has gone into hiding because the, was it, because isn't that what villains do? Yeah. Oh, he got the Rona. Bad doing, man. Justin Scrow, power has always abused use, but what makes right now it so special is that power has figured out how to get us to abuse ourselves. Yeah, but you see, it's also the fact that the all the media has been in lockstep with, like, there's been no counter discussions. So the media is equally as accountable for, and these independent fact checkers. I'd love to know who these independent fact checkers are, because they're full of shite, man, and they're gonna get bummed. Would you let stateside tie you up and twerk on you? Not for love nor money, man. Sean Martin, you'd only be delighted if Ukraine got attacked. Boris might not be sorry about the skyline money. Fucking Boris got drafted. Neo, I'm in Ottawa and there's still a lot of Trudeau dick riders, unfortunately, and lots of people shit talking the truckers. See, they had like 10 million quid on GoFundMe, and they got their money taken out, or the GoFundMe shut down the page. Bad bastards, man. Like, they're basically doing it for, like, at the end of the day, right? End of the day, like, medical mandates are illegal. It's against the Nuremberg Code. Like, and I think in Australia you need to have the first two. What good are they? What good are the first two jabs? 2 years into this shit. Do you know what I mean? Like, they said, like, it went against conventional wisdom from day one, and I think Ireland had been completely fucking. Everyone's brain was completely fucking hijacked by non-stop fucking fear porn news. And being in Sweden, yeah, it started like in the first like 8 months, it was non-stop in front. Now no one's talking about it anymore. It's hopefully everything's going to be lifted soon. Denmark has done away with it all. England and Ireland, I think. Just let people fucking fly and travel and get on with it. And I've so many people are more like, there's a lot of people I talk to don't care where this came from. Like, shouldn't we be finding out who's responsible and liable for this and fucking punish them? This is what should be happening, but no one's focusing on that. It's like if someone just let a load of bees in through the window and they stung everyone in the house. And it's like, the bees, the bees. And then, you know, nobody questions what wanker let the bees in. Fucking Killer Bees, man. The wrestlers, Brian Blair, Iron Cheek Job. Oh, let's see. Media in the US are allowed to verify their sources in-house totally. Oh yeah, I mean that's the old, a source said, a source close to them said. I mean, it's just the old saying, paper doesn't refuse ink, and you can write whatever the hell you want. I mean, there's so many fucking lies have been. You should check out Jimmy Dore. He's doing great stuff. He's a comedian. And he's got Kurt Metzger on him, and he's funny. Like he's a funny dude, but he's been playing a blinder lately. Let me see. Justin Scroll. I got the double jab, still got spread and vidi anyhow. Yeah. And then people are saying like, "Oh, I'm glad I got it because it would have been worse." It's like, how do you know that? Like, I had it and it was sound. Like, it was like 2 days max. Or actually, it went on for a couple of days where I was tired in the evenings. But like, if you were fucking stuck in a house with two rowdy kids, you'd be tired too. Irish Naval Service monitoring transit of Russian warships through Irish-controlled waters. Media doing a loud bit of scaremongering. Our Minister for Children is 10 times scarier than Putin. Do you know? Yeah, like what are they? It's like here in Sweden, you had like some drones flying around the palace here a couple of weeks ago, and everyone's like, "Oh, the Russians, the Russians! They're fucking shit scared of the Russians." You got like this Gotland, which is an island kind of north of Denmark, west of like the Baltic states, and east of Sweden. And Sweden owns it, and it's their island. And the amount of fucking scam, like the Swedes are shit scared of Russia. The Russians, they're not interested. Do you know what I mean? I'm sure that they have their own fucking greaseball, fucking tentacles for their own agenda. But like, if you look at NATO, like NATO are like all the Eastern Baltic states, Poland, Ukraine, Romania, Turkey, like they have, like Afghanistan, not anymore, but they probably still have a few units there. They have Russia completely surrounded with fucking nukes. I mean, like, how the hell does that psychologically feel? Meanwhile, the States itself is soundly protected by two vast oceans. It's like they're sitting pretty while, they're interfering with foreign policy in Europe. Like the Ukrainian people and the Polish people, what they've had to endure over the last 100 years, man, they don't need that shit on their doorstep again. Cardinal Flanagan, Biden is going to New York to talk about the crime. Yeah, great. Fat use that'll be. He'll be on the stage saying it isn't true as some of the lads hotwire the beast limo and scat off. Yeah. Jimmy Dore's great, man. He's doing a brilliant job. Yeah, I mean, like Michael, I got it there. Like like a load of other people in the pub got it too, and most people were fine. I mean, probably the mad thing is, the scariest thing about it was what to expect. Because it's been so played up in terms of severity and whatnot. You're like, is this going to progress? Am I going to be fucking incapacitated? And yeah, and it was fine. So thank God, I missed the flu, which was nice as well. But yeah, as Sparks Tron says, fear is a bigger killer. I think like it was the fear. Justin Scrow, Jimmy Dore, a man from my hometown, Chicago. Love it. Good half Irish, half Polish. Good lad. Lulu, good to see you, brother, man. I was reading some shit today that the Ukraine leader said something like Russia is our neighbor and we gave a meeting set up. I wish the US would leave us be. Yeah, apparently even the Ukrainian leader was like, just stop meddling. This is fucking the Clintons' work, and it's a bit like when George Bush Senior started the invasion in Iraq in 1991, and then his son had to continue the legacy of it. Like looking back, what did Iraq have to do with, first of all, 9/11, and also the fact that they wanted to sell their oil in euros, and the UN even said, "Oh, don't be doing that," and they did it anyway. So shitloads of Americans and coalition forces died or were maimed and blown up and went back to America with PTSD and were thrown to the curb. And there was over 1 million Iraqis killed and millions more displaced. These people are fucking war criminals, man. Justin Scrow, Jimmy Dore, Breaking Points, Matt Tabby, Glenn Greenwald. There are a few journalists out there not bending the knee. Great sources. Yeah, like Ron Paul. That's another one. Check out the Ron Paul Liberty Report. Like, Luke Rudowski's We Are Change. He's always been like, go to Luke Uncensored. But like, these are fucking decent, sources of information. Like I don't read any. I don't take any mainstream. Like if you look at the CBC, the Canadian Broadcast Channel, the shit that their coverage is insane. It's like, it's funny. Some people do get genuinely sick, but get over it. Yeah, I mean, like that some people do. Like my mother had it. She said it was fine. Some people, it's a weird one. Was it targeting certain people with different genetics? Who knows? But like, I think people need to start focusing on where this came from, who's responsible for it, and punishment needs to be met out accordingly. Will there be another part to the book soon? Yes. I was thinking tomorrow of an awful fucking pile of laundry to do, a load of other shite to be at. But I enjoyed the last one. Peaky Blinders, Arthur Shelby, all right, cocaine. But yeah, if you haven't heard the last episode of the Hardy Book, please do. It's good stuff. Justin Scroll again says, we may as well have royalty in America with the Bush-Clinton dynamic. They've been in the upper echelons of government entirety for my 41 years. Yeah, I mean, they're just they're mafia that have managed to get themselves into the highest positions of power in the world. And then you have like people like Schwab and all these guys, and like the banking dynasties. And then you got the Sackler family. I mean, the whole opioid crisis. Let me see. Me and all 4 members of my immediate family tested positive on Christmas Eve. Didn't feel nothing but a headache. We were all feeling 100% better next morning. It was nothing, and none of us. Michael Corky, by the way, I wasn't trying to browbeat or anything about COVID. Have it right now, and it's shite. Like the live streams, great crack. Thank you, Michael. I hope you get well soon, mate. Joseph Sullivan, targeting, you make it sound like it's a biological weapon. Sarcasm. I mean, they went to DARPA. I listened to it pretty much as soon as it was uploaded. What was that, Neo? Tony O'Toole, I spent 2 years not wearing a mask. Now in my local shop, the staff is chasing me around. I wouldn't mind. I only shop and buy Irish, and that's the thanks I get. Bastards. Lulu, not an anti-vax, by the way. You all do whatever makes you feel safe. Nothing but love to the whole channel and chat. Good man, Lou. Yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, it should be, it's illegal to mandate this thing, and the government has scared the fucking living shit out of most people. And now I think it's going to be, I think that, one door closes, another shitstorm opens, and maybe that's like this whole fucking theater of Ukraine and Russia might be just the distraction, or it's like you think, okay, grand, this is finished, and then some of the bullshit starts, and then what about the other thing? It's like, oh, there's no time, rolling news, and then it's gone. Owen Lennon, controversy o'clock. Peaky Blinders has been all style over substance for the past 2 seasons. Yeah, I mean, I saw that, and I mean, like I said in the Hardy Book, it was a bit daft, like playing Arctic Monkeys to fucking lads bopping around in the 1920s. The Hardy Book last episode. Oh yeah, it's good stuff, mate. CJH93, good to see you. It's been a while. Helen McRory will be a massive loss for Peaky Blinders. She was great in it. Lulu in Texas, the opioid crisis hit hard here, and I am speaking from personal experience. Took me damn near 10 years to get clean. They were like handling the meds out like candy once a month. I tell you one thing, right? I met a very sound fella from Queens when I was over in Cancun, and after I got fucking sunburned, I could barely take my fucking shoes off. And he was like, "Hey, have a Vicodin," and I was like, "Fuck it, anything's better than this." But I fucking threw up 3 times on them, and the last time I knew it was going to happen because my mum gave me these Zydol pills when I was a teenager. And not long after taking them, I went, "Bleh." And then I took them again when I was like 20, 25, 26, with another toothache, and drove to Galway with was Owen, or was it Pete? And yeah, come to Merchants Road. I had to pull over the side of the road and go. "Bleh." So I knew I was going to throw up again. Your man was like, "Oh yeah, you took him an hour ago, so it's going to be like give another 20 minutes, it'll pass." I was like, 20 minutes, man. I ain't got 20 seconds. Just had to lean over the edge of the pool, go into the bushes. Wasn't great, man. Wasn't great. It was good crack all the same. Um, I'm in Michigan, and the crisis is horrible here too. Yeah, it's a real fucking sickening, man. Because I was hoping to do a tour of the states, like when all the shit kicked off, and yeah, I met a lot of people from Florida who said they were happy with the way things were in Florida. Having one Vicodin isn't bad, but if you're taking 10 to 10 milligram hydrocodone 3 times a day, every day, or else you shit your pants, it's fucking hell, man. That's crazy. Dr. Dave says nicotine, Valium, Vicodin, marijuana, ecstasy, alcohol, the Barrymore defense. I don't smoke the herb to get high. I smoke it to get medicated. Yeah, I mean that's something that should be. I mean, I think New York has it. It's now legal to grow and buy and sell in New York, and it seems to be making a lot of money as well. But you can imagine you'll get big boys wanting to make that stuff themselves, and it'll be full of shite. I mean, it's probably not like there's too many of these strains nowadays, man. They're fucking blowing people's lids. Like back in the day, it was just real mellow stuff lads were growing in the garden, and I think nowadays all these super strains, fucking, they're not good for people. I mean, I wasn't the kind of person who would like to just sit there and be absolutely fucking smashed out my brain. Just a little bit of a giggle and a chill session. I think that's why I think CBD was like something that came on the market a while back, and then it was really expensive. Didn't do fuck all to you, and then it was gone. So, but apparently there's a lot of good things to be said for CBD. Looked like you were hotboxing there a minute ago, hey. Viper hasn't been live in 6 months. I happened to check it today. Don't know what he's at, man. I haven't heard from him in nearly a year. Love how your mam dishes out the old tramadol. That's what it is, tramadol. Um, yeah, but it's funny because people from Chile, there's a real like everyone, a lot of families in Chile will, like the mother will be like, "Here, try these." Like my mother's the same way. She's like, "Here, there's a course of antibiotics there," and she's got like her book, so she's kind of like, "Don't want to be throwing my mum under the bus here, but should fucking sort you out with stuff. Have one of the, what's the name of those chill out pills? Not Valium, but there's another one. They're like kind of a mild anti-anxiety pill that if you're nervous going in, should give you the touch." Super Skunk made me knock it on the head. Used to have great times before the pollen was the rage. It amazes me that cocaine remains illegal, but Love in Dublin is deemed somehow lawful. Love in Dublin, cool. Dublin, cool. What's going on in the fucking South William Street? Cool. Coyote Bar. Wow, she fucking clackety clack. No, it wasn't Xanax either. It was like, cannot fucking remember it. No, they're just like just small. They're not in like you wouldn't really notice like if you take them one. Just make you feel a bit more chilled. Joel dude. The Razapram, no, it was like it was something. It'll come back to me later on, like little pink pills, and you take one and fucking makes you a bit more chilled for a bit. Quaaludes, couple of pills. Jesus, you boys know the fucking crack here with the different fucking big pharma sweeties, poppers. When you buy weed, verify that you want indica, not sativa. Indica will give you the classic, relaxed, mellowed out experience. Um, yeah, I think that's probably the best way to go. To be honest, just like a nice little chill buzz. But then again, you don't want to be fucking glued to the couch either. Lulu said he hasn't seen Chonk over there for 20 fucking years. The Almira boys. If use Xanax before a presentation works well for me. Lexapro, that's the one. That's the one. Lexapro every day. They make me quite tired though. Yeah. If you just want to, if you got a fucking heavy day of it, the Lexapro will fix you. Take you to the next level of Dianetics. Tom Cruise is after you. Fucking L. Ron Hubbard and the boys, is it? Let me see what other notes I have before we go. Truckers, we've covered Trudeau. Trudeau slinging shit at regular Canadians. Blue collar working guys, keeping the fucking country going. They don't get the recognition they deserve. Let me see. They want to make their own decision. Yeah. Canadians want to make their own decisions. Basically, that's that covered. All about the yeah. I mean, obviously these governments care more about the big companies who are fucking leaning on them. Yeah, that's about it really. I was on tensions between Russia and Ukraine is a distraction, and if so, benefits. So this was about it really. I covered all bases. And tomorrow's a school day. It's funny when I was on the other side of the Atlantic there, I was like the 6 hour gap between America and Sweden. I was like, this must be why the lads over in the States are fucking mostly on the stream. And it was like daytime. Is it what time is it there now, Lulu in Texas? It'd probably be 6 hours ahead here, would it? Big shout out to Johnny Martin. Come on. Who's that guy? McHenry Cruiser. Yeah, get him on if you know him. Fucking tell him to come on and have the crack with me. And anyone else, man. You know, I'm up for chatting to interesting folk. So if you know of anyone who wants to come on and just fucking have a bit of a laugh, the couple of boys, man, couple of boys. Sometimes it's difficult to get people. The governments care about 507. Yeah, 5 hour difference. How do you mean? See, time in Texas. Oh, it's 5 o'clock there now. Yeah, it's 6 hours ahead. So, what's the story like? So, the time zones. It must be really weird if you're living in a state and like it just. Oh Jesus, tonight. It must be really weird that if you're living in a state and tonight and tomorrow, and if you're living in a state and it's the time zone splits right in the middle. I don't know if that happens in any particular states, but it looks like El Paso is 4:10. Time zones. USA. Let me have a little look at this. Like, that must be really weird. Like if you're, let's say, so there's 4 different time zones in the States. So basically, let's have a look at this now. That's really weird. So if you look at Chicago, that's split into 2 different time zones. Strange. So when you see like the Late Show with Conan O'Brien and the boys, and then you're like, so if it's on at like 10 o'clock in New York, it's on at 7 in LA. Must be really weird. Like it's a TV show. I mean, do you know what I think is fucking shit? I want to say this, I've said it before on the Hardy book. Fucking Big Bang Theory. Like you go on the plane, right, and it's like comedy, and it's like Big Bang Theory, and then there's another one called Sheldon, which is a comedy about that wanker Sheldon from the Big Bang Theory. They made a show about him as a kid. It's like, the fuck is it? What was it wrong with these people, man? You know what I mean? How can that shite get commissioned over and over again? It makes me sick, man. Makes me sick. There's a guy called Stephen Coughlin who I'm going to show you this, man. This you should follow this guy on. You should check out this lad on Instagram. He's fucking hilarious. I asked did he want to come on. It'd be good to get him on for the crack because I just saw this on Instagram. I was like, oh, what's this? This is what a fringe minority looks like. That's gone. Picture of Bill Gates and Trudeau. Look at fucking Stevie Kelly, man. The bearded man.
At least St. Patrick went out, picked a shamrock out of the ground. Bob's your uncle. Point proven. No, St. Bridget.
See this fellow now, Stevie Coughlin, hey. This thing was fucking... This is brilliant, man. I just want to see. This is the one here.
Shows like Little Sheldon, Big Bang Theory. I could go on. That's an assault on the sacred masculine. They do that. Why? As I said, we're being surrounded. You know, they don't want anybody like that around. They want somebody like Sheldon around to deal with. Okay, so they're trying to influence the younger people. And here's the thing, it didn't even make any sense. Why would you want to be a nerdy scientist if you're going to have roommates or live with your mom? Okay? That's not even the truth. I mean, maybe. My dad was a scientist and he was buying houses with cash in affluent neighborhoods in Massachusetts. So I didn't understand that. I didn't understand it. And who honestly thinks Kaylee Kuko would go no matter what those guys got for money?
Short and sweet. Coughlin Steve. Coughlin.Steve on Instagram, man. He's a beautiful human being, but I want to get him on just to hear his takes. Maybe I'll do a stream tomorrow night and see if I can get him in it. Okay, you got some beautiful comments here. I'll be on tomorrow night, Johnny Sideways. That's right. Lulu, I don't know. Time zones and daylight saving never made sense to me. I fucking hate daylight savings. It's when the clocks go forward and back. It's just leave it as one because it's just a fucking shock to the system. One morning it's bright, next morning it's dark, and then the same in the evenings. Load of shite. Dr. David says, any interest in being an Irish period piece about sex before the Irish Free State called 1913 Lick Out? RTE are interested. It's got legs. Irish Newfoundland, we're on a half-hour time zone here in Newfoundland. Don't even know what that means because all time zones and counties and stuff. Big Bang is shite off it, says Michael Corky. Justin Scrow, Big Bang Theory, the fucking worst shite ever. Destroyed being a nerd out in the States. Lulu also chimes in. Big Bang Theory ain't even funny. The only good thing about that show was the hot blonde. You know, the one that looks like she'd be a bitch in real life. Penny. What's her real name? Cowboy looking like Castaway, says Neo. The show is probably one of the worst of all time. Mark Smith said, 412 in Calgary, Alberta. I'll come on a stream next time, man. I'm full of interest. Good man, Markeen. Tomorrow I'll open up the floor. Graham Russell, snap at the heels of Rothwheeler. Can't believe you got John Lennon back from the grave a couple of weeks ago, Martin, lad. How did they do that? Oh, my. Why would you want to be a nerdy scientist when you got a dime piece living across the hall, says Lulu. Kaylee Coco, that's her name. She'd be fine, though, but seems like in real life she'd be a bitch. No autographs. That wasn't John Lennon. It was his son, Sean. Justin Scrow, this is the only channel allowed to send notifications to my phone direct. I'll try and make it. Go ahead, Justin. Stephen Lennon, how you know, Durkin? Fan of the books from the Big Smoke, Dublin. A man, Stevie. Cardinal Flanagan, they should put Sheldon in a shell and seal it up. Fuck it down the river. Lad, what do you think about these lockdowns being left overnight? What's this about? What do you think about these lockdowns being left overnight? Don't know. Just don't fucking know, hey. How'd they kick Roseanne off but keep these shit shows? Yeah, I think it was the time when Roseanne was said a woman looked like Planet of the Apes woman. But then I looked at it and I was like, she was on about the Helena Naboa Carter woman and said that they looked alike, and then was saying she was on Ambien, and I believe Ambien, fucking mad stuff. I have friends who were fucking tied to a chair coming back from the States after taking 2 Ambien and going on the drink. I won't mention any names. CM Fox, how you doing, baby boy? How was Cuba? I wasn't in Cuba. It wasn't far off it, though, to Mexico. It was nice, man. It was nice to get. It was the first fucking holiday I've had for a while, but the sunburn was a bit shit. But fair play to the old paracetamol and aspirin. It's like, yeah, still scratching. I came back here the other day and I was like, it was like a fucking flapjack. And I was like looking around the house. There's all these like white bits all over the floor. I was like, oh, is that skin? When I was coming on back on the plane, I was like a walking blizzard. So do a lot of scratching, man. Do a lot of scratching. Still a bit red. It was a joke. Whoopi Goldberg just went full anti-Semitic and got a paid. Oh, she got paid vacation, did she? Fucking hell, man. The cancel woman. Yeah, I mean, like, you know, Whoopi Goldberg back in the 90s, you know, Sister Act and all that was good crack, but then she just turned into a fucking knob. Like the rest of them on. Remember the time when Norm Macdonald came on and they were like they overpowered Norm Macdonald. He was like, yeah, you're right. Yeah, I'm sorry. Just fucking went along to go along. Sheepdog, how you doing? New to the stream, and you probably covered, but is you beliefs taking away your employment opportunities? Don't know. Don't care either, to be honest with you. Because if I have to go work and, you know, dig in a fucking tunnel or something, I'll do it. The whole world of TV and entertainment is a very shallow and superficial world, and I don't really feel like it doesn't. I tell you what, I did like the adulation, hanging out, having a laugh, and the bit of coin. But other than that, like, you know, it would be nice. But look, at the end of the day, I think most people are going to wake up to this, and we will be vindicated for our opinions, and it'll all be forgotten. And then a lot of people who were the loudest critics will be like, "Oh, I knew it all along. Oh, definitely, you were, yeah." Or then if I was to say, "Yeah, people like me were right all along," and be like, "Shut up! Like, what do you want? Do you want a fucking medal for it?" You know, that'd be the kind of crack. Any dodgy stuff in Mexico? No, it was a very wholesome trip. Very wholesome. Nice people. I like the Mexicans. Good lads and ladies. What's your best 5K time? Don't know. I never really timed myself, but I did 10K in about 48 minutes. And that was going back a good fucking 8-9 years ago now. I need to get back into the fitness, and I've tried that Nordic pouch stuff. Didn't get on with it. Yeah, but that's not like this stuff here is made of like the tobacco, and that other stuff is like chewing gum with nicotine put into it. Shite stuff. Coin never hurts as long as you don't sell your fucking soul. Like 90% of the sellouts still on air. As the old saying goes, what good is a man who inherits the earth if he loses his soul? And that's the way I look at it, lads. But give it the old thumbs up there now. And if you have any mates you like, any mates or family members, be like, get on Maloney's fucking soul, man. Give an old subscribe, like. And if you haven't subscribed yet, do subscribe. Yeah, I just wanted to thank you all for being with me, and please come back soon. Tomorrow night, I'm gonna hopefully we'll have a bit of crack and see who we can get on the chat. But then again, maybe I might fall asleep. Who knows? But let's provisionally say tomorrow we'll have a little birthday bash. You know what I mean? Celebrate 39 years of the Ginger Ninja. But good to see you all, and look after yourselves and enjoy wherever it is you are. And yeah, we'll be talking to you tomorrow. Nice to see you all again. Thanks for the input. I enjoyed that now. It was good crack. And I'll fucking sign off. Say good luck and God bless.